Hi there, welcome to Sisters for Financial Independence. My name is Catherine Agupjan. I am a financial educator, and here at Sisters for Fi, we help you manage your money better so that you can live a life of impact today and tomorrow. This video is going to be a little bit different. We are going to talk about the IRA, the Individual Retirement Account, and I am going to show you a quick peek of what's inside my IRA and how I've used it over time. Now, prior to me becoming a financial educator, I worked in the IT and EdTech space for over 12 years. I was not a personal finance educator. I was a personal finance junkie, and I've learned a lot since then, and I wanted to pivot into this space to help others. So I got credentialed as an educator to help you and others learn more about personal finance, manage money better, and then really use that money for a life of impact for ourselves, our family, and our community. So without further ado, let's talk about the IRA. The IRA is an individual retirement account. It is one of the most common ways you can save and invest for retirement. A big misconception about the IRA is that it's not only for retirement. You can use the funds. There are certain rules to this for a down payment for a home. You can use the funds for certain life expenses that you might incur, and I will share links below in the description so you can look at some of those exemptions. And I'm sharing that because many people feel like once they put money into a retirement account, it's not as flexible. I think that's a big misconception, and the IRA is one of the most flexible retirement accounts you can have, you can open, and you can fund. An IRA is not tied to your employer, so it's yours and yours alone. And I also recommend to have an IRA for married individuals. They have their separate, it's an individual IRA, so it's separate individual accounts under their name, so that you have something to take with you should something happen and you need to separate from your partnership. So let's dive in a little bit more into what an individual retirement account is. So what is an individual retirement account? The IRA allows you to save for retirement, and there's a few reasons why you might want to open an account like this. Your first reason might be to supplement an existing employer-sponsored account like a 401k or a 403b and or a pension. So this is in addition to all those accounts. It just ensures you have the money saved up for retirement. You may also open this account if you don't have access to those employer-sponsored accounts, don't have access to a pension. This can be a great way to start up that investing and saving. And lastly too, an IRA offers more options as far as investments for you, so it gives you more diversification when it comes to building out that portfolio. Now, the IRA comes in a few forms. First form is a traditional IRA, and this is where you do a tax deferment where you would not pay taxes on the money you put in, and instead you put in the full amount and let that grow and earn interest over time. And when you're ready to withdraw it from retirement, you will pay taxes then. The theory is that at that point in retirement, you will be at a lower tax bracket, so the taxes will be lower. The other type of IRA is called a Roth IRA, and in that IRA account, you put in post-tax money, so money that's already been taxed. And within that account, you'll let it grow. It earns interest, dividends, you're investing, and it grows over time. By the time you are ready to take it out at retirement age, Any withdrawals are tax-free because you've already paid taxes on it. And the last type of IRA is called a rollover IRA, where you would roll over an existing 401k plan or 403b plan to an IRA. And you might want to do that to get a wider access of investment choices to choose from. And if you have multiple accounts, it can also be easier to manage all of your money within one account. Now, the IRAs do have a contribution limit of $6,000 a year, and it also has income limits. So depending on how you're filing, whether you're filing as an individual or a married filing jointly, there are some income limits that will restrict you from contributing to the IRAs. The IRA is also special, and I will also mention this a little bit later, in that if you are a stay-at-home parent, but you are married and filing jointly, and there is someone else, you have a partner that's earning income, you can use your partner's income to help contribute to your own individual IRA account. Contributing to an IRA while you are not working but managing your household can ensure you are saving and investing for retirement. I will link a video somewhere up here for spousal IRAs to help you learn more about that and how you can use that if you are a stay-at-home parent. You will have to decide which type of IRA works for you. You'll need to assess your income. You'll also need to assess your tax bracket and what your expectations are in the future. The IRAs do require earned income, so you must be earning income from a W-2 job or a freelancer job to be able to put money into the IRA. As far as withdrawals, you'll be able to withdraw penalty-free from the IRA at 59.5. There are some special exemptions if you are withdrawing from a Roth IRA, and I will link a list of those exemptions below, and as there are some certain requirements for you to ensure you have before you can withdraw from your IRA. All right, so now let's dive into my IRA account. And I am specifically not sharing specific investments here because I can't. And my situation is different from yours, so you'll need to figure out what things to invest in. This video is for educational purposes only, and I want just to show you how I've used my IRA over time and how I've contributed to it and how it's grown with just the returns on the stock market. So let's go. At my personal Roth IRA, the personal performance is based off of the past 10 years. And you'll notice that I started the beginning of that with around 9,000 as a balance. So I started contributing to this account right after I paid off a car loan and paid off some of my student loans. I was not maxing out this account from the get-go. And I think there's a lesson there in that you don't have to max out all these accounts from the get-go. Start with what you can to save and invest. Automate those investments, even if it's just $100 a week, $100 a month, and keep increasing and growing that investment. And over time, I did continuously contribute to the account, and you'll see the account start growing and the balance growing over time. Here is the purchases and withdrawals for the past 10 years, as well as investment returns. So I didn't have to do anything with this money. Of course, this is kind of just on paper at this point until I sell these assets, but because it's a Roth IRA, I will not be touching this account or the money in it for a longer period of time. And over time, I did contribute to max out in certain years, and there's certain years that we were phased out of contributions, so we could not put in whatever was the limit for the year. I think that's something to keep in mind too, that you don't If your income is high, you can still contribute, perhaps not the max, but you can still contribute to the IRA, and then you can let that grow over time. There's a period here though in 2018 where I did withdraw money from the account to pay for a home down payment. That is one of the exemptions that you can use the money for within your Roth IRA. So if you're contributing early to the Roth IRA, you can let the money grow and be able to take out some of it to pay for some of the exemptions, like a first-time home buyer's purchase. This account is made up purely of stocks. Now, I chose this investment option for myself because I am fairly young and I can withstand the ups and downs of the market, so I am going aggressive with this account. I do have other investment accounts that have some conservative mix in there, but for this particular account, we're going aggressive, so we're putting it 100% in stocks. Unfortunately, I'm not going to show you what's inside this portfolio, but know that it is purely in 100% stocks. And part of that is because I don't want to inadvertently give you the advice that you should invest in a particular fund or stock. What you can do is, if you're looking to start your own portfolio, is look into the 3-fund portfolio. I have a video on that you can take a look to learn more about what that means, what that includes, and how you can create a portfolio like that essentially invest across the total stock market and gets you the different diversification you need depending on your risk tolerance. If this video has been helpful, I would appreciate it if you could give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Sisters for Fi for more money lessons. I release a new video every week, so you can learn more about finances in these short videos. Thank you for tuning in.